to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. We're on season 4, episode number 46. This is the Songs edition. My name is Dan. Andy is out on assignment this week. Our Songs episode is going to be an album review from a band called the Foo Fighters. Now, we've done some before. Foo Fighters, very good musical group. I'm not as into them as I was in the past, but very, very good nonetheless. And this album review today is going to be the following album here. It's called Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace. Came out in 2007. Now, this is the 6th studio album by the Foo Fighters. The 6th studio album released in 2007. So this album is noted for its blend of regular rock and acoustic tracks with shifting dynamics. Very different. Remember when the album In Your Honor came out? We also reviewed that. That was a double album. One side was rock and heavy metal, and one was all acoustic. And they did something similar with this album. Some of the tracks are rock, some of the tracks are acoustic, but it's mixed, it's blended together. But these guys have come a long way, really showing their maturity here on putting together this album. The genre is called alternative rock, post-grunge, and hard rock. The album's 51 minutes and 12 seconds long. The producer is Gil Norton. Gil Norton is who Dave Grohl used on his album The Color and the Shape from a previous Foo Fighters album. Recording began in March 2007 at Studio 606 in Dave Grohl's Virginia home's basement. That's where they started. And then it got relocated later, that studio, and they call it now Studio 606 West, which is in California, Northridge, I believe. And that's where they got started. Remember, they've done many albums before. The very first one was all Dave Grohl himself recording everything. Now, here is the personnel. Dave Grohl, lead vocals. Nate Mendel, bass. Taylor Hawkins, drums. And Chris Shiflett, lead guitar. So because we've got a song or two with strings, we've got some different songs with various percussion, different things going on this album. And this is where we see a lot more activity from additional musicians like Drew Hester, who performs on 5 of the tracks. Rami Jaffee performs on 6 of the tracks. So additional people here that were very active in the tour, the In Your Honor tour, that now become part of the band in this studio. So the interesting thing is that the cover art. So let's look at the cover art here on the album cover that you're seeing there. It was made by a company called Invisible Creature, and it features a combination between an aerial bomb and a vacuum tube. And kind of just to juxtapose the weapon with another object that traditionally wasn't associated with war or violence. So they're putting the two together, and kind of somehow it's similar once again to the Echoes, Silence, Patience, Grace, cool, calm things, relaxing things, and then rock, heavy things, whereas the bomb portion of this and war and violence, and then also the subtlety of the silence piece is where this album comes kind of full circle. It's a rock album, but it also has acoustical pieces. So in some areas, the critiques, the critics, when they did their critique, some liked it, some didn't. Some said it was a good blend. One person said on the album review that it was just very boring, this entire album. I myself liked it. Here are the tracks. The track begins. Now remember, this is 2007. 2007. The first song and the lead track that was released is called The Pretender. This is the song most of you will know. The lyrics really are going after President Bush, the younger President Bush, on this, calling him a pretender. And it gets into some of these war type things. And the video is very good. Whether you're a President Bush fan or not, it really really proves a point here as far as the presidency overall. Um, Grohl does a good job with that. Next song is "Let It Die." Next song is "Erase, Replace." Next song is "Long Road to Ruin." Another good song there. Next song is "Come Alive." Now, "Come Alive," basically, the lyrics relate to Grohl's daughter, the birth of his daughter Violet, that happened during the recording of this album. All the songs on this album are really putting life into perspective, is what Dave Grohl is talking about. Going from being a party rock and roll guy, having fun and not worrying about anybody except yourself, and all of a sudden becoming a parent and becoming a father, how that alters your life, how that alters your perspective on things, and how he basically came alive the day his daughter was born. Very powerful lyrics here. Anyone who's got children know this. It's just it changes your life. It changes your world. Um, so that's a very good song there called "Come Alive." Song 6 is called "Stranger Things Have Happened." This is another song that Dave Grohl wrote. Um, Very good. Got to listen to it for yourself. It's just a good song. Song 7 is "Cheer Up, Boys, Your Makeup is Running." It's got some comedy in. Very light song. Song 8 is "Summer's End." Summer's End, quiet song, acoustic. There's just pianos featured in this. Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins both play the piano on the song called "Summer's End." Song 9 is "The Ballad of the Beaconsfield Miners." The Ballad of the Beaconsfield Miners is the first instrumental the Foo Fighters have ever done. First one. Very interesting. Now, the Beaconsfield miners was a story of the miners that were involved in that mine collapse that took place in, I think it was 2006. And the miners that were stuck down in that collapse did request, true story, they requested when they were going to send something down to keep those guys occupied until the rescuers came, they said, send us down an iPod with the album "In Your Honor" by Foo Fighters, and that's what we'll use to listen to while we're down here waiting to be rescued. Well, Dave Grohl really liked the fact that they did that, and he said he's going to write an instrumental and dedicate it to those miners that were successfully rescued in Beaconsfield. And so that's what this song is. It's an instrumental dedicated to those guys. Dave Grohl was very moved by that whole thing. Song 10 is called "Statues." Another song, slow, with featuring Dave Grohl on piano again. So if you're a piano fan and soft music, this isn't maybe the album here for you. Song 11 is "But Honestly." That's the title. It's called "But Honestly." Once again, coming to grips about the reality of the world and big scope, big picture types of things versus just rock and roll songs. They really get in depth with a very mature concept here with the album, and all the lyrics and what they're dealing with, and all these songs are very kind of big time, big picture things that happen in life. Last song is called "Home." Last song is called "Home." Now, Dave Grohl said this is the best song he's ever written. And the lyrics on the song "Home" is where it contains the phrase on one of the verses. It's called "Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace," is where they get the title for the album from the lyrics within the song called "Home." Dave Grohl plays piano on this one as well. Very good. Very good. Whether you like the slow stuff or not, it's still worth to listen to the slow stuff if you're not a big fan, either once or twice to listen to some of those. Very good music. But if you like the hard stuff, you can skip, fast forward to the hard stuff. It's your typical Foo Fighters music. Very, very, very good. The total album length is 51 minutes and 12 seconds. So once again, pretty normal for Foo. Longer albums. Now, this album went platinum, certified platinum. Now, at the 50th Grammy Awards, the album "Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace" won the Grammy for Best Rock Album, and the song for Best Hard Rock Performance was "The Pretender." It's a very successful album overall. It went platinum. Nothing more than that. It was just platinum. um, the song "Home" was also used in a series of a bunch of TV shows. If you listen to, or if you ever watched the TV show Brothers and Sisters, or One Tree Hill, or the television show Private Practice, or Bosch, or 911 Season 5, Episode 7, or even the 2015 animated movie Shaun the Sheep movie, that song "Home" is listed in all of those television shows I just listed. So you probably may not have known it was their song. It certainly is. Now, the other musical reference to some of the softer rock on this album, they said they wanted to bring in and have some sound that sounded to some of their early 1970s, the 70s soft rock bands such as Wings, Eagles, and Bread. That I thought was very interesting. They wanted to go and pay homage to that type of scene. Um, this was back to accomplished. Here was the praise of the band. Some say this is the most accomplished album that they've done. Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace. Once again, it's not hard rock. It's not over the top heavy. It's not soft. It's not acoustic. It's all of the above. It's 12 songs with a mixture of all. 12 songs, mixture of all. So I think overall, the average listener is going to like this. The average listener is going to like this album. I've not heard many people say it's their favorite album of all time or it's a must listen. I haven't listened to it myself in a couple of years, but when you go back and plug this in and play this album front to back, it is pretty good. Well done. Well done. Please leave your comments below and comments and questions and requests for future episodes and shows. But once again, this is Foo Fighters' Silence, Echoes, Silence, Patience, and Grace album from 2007. This is season 4, episode number 46. The Songs Edition. Thanks for listening. My name is Dan. Thank you.